Wholesale Hotline, where we cover everything to do with wholesale real estate. I'm Jamil Damji.
I'm Brent Daniels.
And I am Pace Morby.
And together we cover the most important parts of wholesale real estate.
Lead generation.
Conversion of sellers into contracts.
And dispositions. Guys, remember when you're watching this show, do us a favor and squad up in the comments.
Make sure that you are liking and subscribing to the YouTube channels and in the Facebook group Wholesale Hotline.
Most important, we want to know we're doing a great job for you and helping you build your business. So go give us a review on iTunes and or Spotify.
So squad up and enjoy the show.
Welcome to Wholesale Hotline number 223. I'm Brent Daniels, Mr. TTP, Mr. Talk to People, joined by Pace Morby, Mr. Sub 2 / Snappity Snap Gator. We've got Jerry Norton / Flipping Genius, and we've got the king of wholesale himself, Jamil Damji. Guys,
I don't get a slash?
You are the king. You get no slashes.
Okay.
That's it.
They slash them?
Yep.
It is amazing to me.
Is that you? Are you they, them?
Everywhere I go, Jamil gets recognized as the Blue Genie. I don't know if there's a more prolific brand in real estate than the freaking Blue Genie. Bro.
You know what I was sad about, Pace? Last week was episode Deuce.
You know, I could have shown up, but I told Henry Washington.
I know, you gave him your spot.
I gave my spot, and I was like, there's no reason for us to have 5 guys on the screen. Like, nobody needs to have 5 alpha males on the screen.
I would have stayed back so that you could have been there for Deuce, bro. I was like, come on, it's Deuce Day.
Yeah.
But
I was probably cleaning up my daughter's deuce. She's now been pooping all over the house. So it was still Deuce Day, just a different way.
Awesome.
Couple things for everybody watching today. I compiled a list of my recent private money lenders, and I have 132 of them totaling $14 million. People I've all done deals with that their money is typically in double closes, EMD loans, short-term like gap lending, like fix and flips and stuff like that. And I'm really not doing a lot of those types of deals right now in my own portfolio. Most of my deals are long-term holds, like 5, 7, 8 years. So I decided instead of telling them, hey guys, I can't use your money, I was just going to give it away. So I made a list, and I am going to give it all away to tonight on Instagram DM. So DM me the word lender, and I'll give you a list of 132 real people that I've done deals with, totaling $14 million in available cash currently today. I wanted to start off today. Sorry for missing last week. Also, just to let you guys know, I gave away the link to Wholesale Hotline in the chat, so people could come on here tonight and actually ask us some questions behind the scenes, if you guys are cool with that. So guys, link in the side chat. It says StreamYard.com with a bunch of weird words. Come back here. We can only hold 12 people in the backstage. Turn your camera on so we know you don't have an eye patch and a hook for an arm. We know you're not Captain Hook. Turn your camera on. We will not call on you unless you have your camera on. We have somebody in the side chat that says today, okay, first and foremost, we do have to give some love right now. Happy belated Father's Day to all 4 of these dudes that know how to make babies. Do you think it's a possibility that I could ever catch up with Jerry Norton?
I mean,
I think so, Pace, you know?
I don't know.
You're working on it. You might pop some twins or triplets in there to catch up. You know what I'm saying? They'll be weird.
You need a couple triple doubles, you know?
I do. If I get a couple, he's 6 years older than me, so that means I probably have a good 4 or 5 kids that I could pop out in 6 years. I act like it's anything to do with me, by the way. Jay Williams says, Pace, help me. Well, Jay Williams, we're going to do you one better. We're going to have the 4-headed beasts, Jerry Norton, Brent Daniels, Jamil Damji, and myself help you out today. So come on, This is live right now. Here it is, what, June 20 or June 17th today. Come on here, guys. Come hang out with us. Ask us some questions. We'll break down your business. We'll give you some therapy if you need it. Jerry Norton just finished up a marriage retreat that I heard nothing but amazing things about.
Cool,
Ingrid
dude.
Hernandez. Ooh, Nita Patel. Guys, Nita Patel is one of the most prolific door knockers, foreclosure people in the industry. She's a TTPer. She's a sub-2 student. She kills it. She does a Zoom every, I think, Thursday or Friday inside of sub-2 where she teaches people how to go and knock on doors. This lady does probably 5 to 7 deals a month by herself as a woman in Chicago.
Mhm.
Okay.
Chicago. She goes knocking doors in Chicago.
You know what I love about her? So she's Indian,
Yeah.
as you can tell, but she has a Chicago accent. It is
Yeah,
the
it's
most
best.
amazing thing ever.
Every single one of my aunts sounds exactly like her. It's the best. Nita's the best. She does
You could talk to her on the
incredible job.
phone and be like, okay,
Let's
this
get her up here. Come on, Nita Patel. I need to hear this.
Nita, pop in here. The
She's
link is
freaking
in the
amazing.
side chat.
yes. Okay, so we've got Tyson, Lucas, and Michael. All three of them are breaking the cardinal sin of coming in the backstage and not turning your camera on and letting us see you. We want to make sure that you're not some weirdo. Okay, here he is. There's our guy, Tyson. Are you
Tyson's ready.
Tyson, give me a thumbs up if you're ready, bro. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear us. Give me a thumbs up. There we go. Matt Duke. He's got Legend of Zelda hat on right now. Tyson, there he goes. He got his thumb. Tyson, what is up, bro? Welcome to Wholesale Hotline with your dudes, Jerry, Brent, Jamil, and myself. How you doing, bro? What can we do for you?
Hey, man, living a dream.
Good, good, good. What do you got for us today? How can we help you?
Living the dream. I got my four. That's awesome.
Amazing. How can we help you today, Tyson?
I get to get my first deal. I have all these things going on in my head. You look around at my desk. I have notes everywhere about this and about that. I started calling lenders today, trying to get funding for Jerry's takedown method. So I'm looking to get a call back here soon. Hoping my phone rings any minute. I'm
Tyson,
also looking at
Tyson, go to my DMs and type in the word lender. I will give you 132 people that will fund your takedown method, Jerry's takedown method. Also, I believe Jerry has funding. I'm not sure if he has a link for that, or Jerry, do you remember your link for the takedown funding or anything like that?
It's not official, but if you DM me, I'll hook you up. I just got to make sure it qualifies. So yes, we have funding, but I haven't rolled it out officially.
Okay, so Tyson, you're looking for takedown methods. You're cold calling. Whenever somebody tells me that they have yet to get their first deal,
Why would you want to take something down right away? That's the first thing in my mind. I would say that let's get some assignments out the way. Let's prove your ability to know what a deal is. But sorry, Pace, I didn't mean to cut you off.
I think Jerry, Jamil, you got the right answer. I also, Tyson, will say when somebody says, I haven't got my first deal yet, the first thing that pops in my mind is the same thing that when somebody says, I don't like ice cream, what pops in my mind? Which is, there's no way you don't like ice cream. You must be lactose intolerant. You have ice cream and you crap your pants. There's no way that somebody can physically tell me that they don't like ice cream. So when I hear them say, I don't like ice cream, I don't actually hear that. I hear what actually is going on. They're lactose intolerant. When somebody says, I haven't gotten a deal yet, what I hear is, I'm not doing the right activities, or I'm not doing the right activities consistently enough. And so one thing I would ask you is, how many offers have you actually submitted to sellers or real estate agents in the last 30 days? Physical offers, not thought about it, not gone on Zillow and scrolled around, not done any of that. How many actual offers have you sent out to an agent or to a seller in the last 30 days?
Questions for you, Tyson.
Okay, so Tyson's
Tyson,
internet's
go on.
not fast enough. Tyson, do this to go to your modem and like crank it real fast. What do you guys think about that when somebody says, I haven't got my first deal yet? What's the first thing that pops in your mind?
Conversations and offers, Pace.
Yeah.
How many conversations have you had and how many offers have you made? That's what it all comes down to. At the start of the show, and it was, we make fun of it as a live audience every time when we see our same, heck it is, 4 years. And it's like, us 4 years ago, but it starts out with lead generation, converting those leads, into signed agreements and then dispositions, which is your exit strategy. And so with lead generation, you're either reaching out to them or they're reaching out to you. So what are you going to do? Do you have a budget of at least $2,000 to $3,000 to have people reach out to you? All right. Or do you have to reach out to them? Do you have more time than you have budget so that you can just go and put some sweat equity in and call agents that have listed properties that have been on for a while and follow Jerry on that? Are you reaching out to people that own ugly properties that you could just literally drive around and talk to them? Are you talking to other wholesalers and seeing what their inventory looks like and what your cash buyers are looking for? So it's all conversations and offer space.
Okay, cool. I agree with that. So boys, Jamil, Jerry, Lori Zeller has probably the perfect response to that comment, which is awesome question. It really made me think. For me, I think it comes down to fear, if I'm being honest. Now, I always have a kind of a funny, quippy way of answering this, which is, Lori, how did you figure out the secret to life? And Lori will say, what do you mean? And I'll say, you have figured out how to live forever. Otherwise, you would have urgency and you would realize that every failed day of not taking action is the greatest failure of all time. Your analysis paralysis of I'm so afraid of being this or making a mistake, ironically causes you to make the largest failure, which is wasting an entire day that God gave you to go and better yourself, challenge yourself, and step into your purpose. So what exactly are you afraid of? And how the heck did you learn how to live forever? Because if you learned how to live forever, tell me so I can also not take action, because in 100 years from now, I could then start. I could start when I'm finally ready. Okay. Lori says this comment, Jamil, Jerry, what are your thoughts on fear? And is there any way to overcome it? What are your first thoughts that pop up?
Well, happy to jump in real quick here. You know, the fear is coming from a biological process. It's not actually coming from, really anything that is really to be scared of, right? Just like Pace said, you're not going to die. Nothing's going to kill you. Nobody's going to reach through the phone and assault you, or nothing is going to happen to you by getting started. What is going to happen to you is you're going to be in a level of uncomfort. Okay. It's going to be uncomfortable. It's not going to be fun starting something new. Like anybody who's starting something new, when they first do it, they're going to kind of suck at it. And that is damaging to the ego, and it's not comfortable, and it makes you start to feel like you might be unsafe. And then the brain starts to create chemistry that creates that fear in you, that gives you that anxiety. So what you have to tell yourself is, I'm okay with this. I'm okay with this uncomfortable feeling. I'm going to actually enjoy the uncomfortable feeling. I am not going to die. Nothing is going to happen to me. I'm going to actually look forward to making some mistakes so I can figure out how to fix those mistakes. And then once you come to that acceptance, truly accept the fact that it's just like anything else that you're starting you're brand new at. There's going to be a learning curve. You're going to make some mistakes. That's normal. When you accept that, I tell you, you get to the other side of that and you make those first few calls and you're like, oh my God, that was way easier than I thought it was going to be. People are actually more pleasant than I thought they were going to be. And this isn't as bad as I think. And away you go.
Jerry, what are your thoughts, brother?
Yeah. I mean, if you're thinking I'm going to fail, it won't work, you're going to then live that out and make that a reality. And I agree with Jamil. I think mostly fear is just this. The first thing for me is just normalize it, like, hey, that's normal. There's nothing going wrong, that it's scary to call. You might look dumb. You might say the wrong thing. You might get a bad deal. I mean, like, all of that's just pretty normal. And I feel like if you can just normalize that and then take action anyway, then the next thing you know, like Jamil said, you're on the phones and you're like, wow, this isn't really as bad as I made it out to be. And so just what I say is just block out the time and do the work. And if you make the decision like, hey, I'm going to get on the phones for 3 hours and I'm going to map out, every day for the next week, and you map that out, and no matter what, however you feel, you still do it. Then what happens is maybe you don't have great energy. Maybe you don't sound that good. Maybe your fear is leading out, but at least you're there and you're doing it. And it's kind of like working out. A crappy workout's still better than no workout. And then the next thing you know, you did it and you feel so good about yourself. And then you minimize the fear and you're just building now on the momentum that you create by just taking action in spite of the fear, right? So nothing's going wrong. It's perfectly normal to be fearful, but just do it anyway, and you'll see tremendous results in time.
I love that answer. What is the one thing that you've ever done in your life that was so worthy of your time that it was actually really easy? Anything?
That it was real easy?
Yeah. And it just comes naturally, and it's like the most worthy thing. Anything in your life that just shows?
Just loving my kid, when I first hold my child for the first time, it's like I have no idea what the heck I'm doing, but it felt easy to do because I felt that. But other than that, everything else it's even though they're really difficult things, and there's a lot riding on it. It's like anything worthwhile is gonna take effort.
Even paying the bills for the child you love requires physical uncomfortability, right? And
yeah,
Danielle Carter says, I love that. Be fearful and do it anyway. I think being fearful is the universe's sign that the universe puts directly in front of you to say, do you really want to do this? I'm not going to give this to you. Do you really want to do this? You're going to have to go down this rocky road. Do you really want to do this? Right? King Cap is saying TTP is looking jacked, bro.
Come on.
You know what sucks about being TTP?
Come on.
You always look jacked, and so you don't even get the compliment that often. It's just like that's standard, bro. That's standard.
I still appreciate it, King Cap. I love it. I love it.
Okay, cool. Let's go to Matt Duke, Legend of Zelda, bro.
Oh, what's up?
What's up, Matt Duke? How you doing, bro?
Hey guys, I'm doing really well.
What do you got for us?
2 questions, if you'll permit. We'll see how the first one goes. The first one is Squad Up Summit. Pace, Jerry Norton ripped me a new one for playing video games.
Oh, yeah, I remember now.
This is Explosive Beaver, bro.
No, he's not Beaver. He's not Beaver.
Duke Money 63.
Oh, yeah, Duke Money.
We didn't rip
Come on.
We didn't rip you a new one for playing video games. I like video games. I play them with my kids all the time. I love video games. I just played Call of Duty Zombies the other day. I freaking love it.
That's all. You don't shoot the zombie dogs, do you?
Yes, I do. They blow up. I hate them. I hate when they blow up in front of me.
Okay. Well, I wanted to ask Jerry if he would loan me money now because I changed my Instagram.
What do you need money for? Now I want to loan you money. What do you want?
I don't actually want money, but the purpose was, hey, if your social media sucks, let us critique it. And so I changed it up. I started doing interviews at Squad Up Summit. I started doing posts, started changing things up. I got my Donald Miller one-liner in there. It's not Duke Money 63. It's Matt Duke REI now.
Yes, I love that.
Yeah.
I freaking love that. What have you been posting on your Instagram now?
Yeah, yep. Been posting, I got some gimbals from TikTok, like face tracking gimbals and everything, and kind of just trying to get I've been working a lot with Nathan Harris. He's helping me out a lot on.
Yeah, Nathan knows how to do content. That's freaking great. Have you played Breath of the Wild? That's the main question.
Yeah, I have.
Have you beat it? Have you gotten all the Deku nuts?
I don't know if I got all the Deku nuts. I beat the game though. I do. That's the best. Oh no, this is the second one. This is Tears of the Kingdom. But
we have not played that enough.
Are Deku nuts just short? Are those these nuts?
That's exactly. I was leading there.
Okay. All right.
Matt Duke, what's your second question?
All right.
First
Cool.
one is good.
So the second question, and hey Jamil, hey Brent. I haven't talked to you before, Brent, but definitely see you in these videos. So my next question really is something that I've battled with, and I still believe that regardless of what I've been to or what I've closed or who I've met or any of that I'm still a very new wholesaler. And I like to think that I do this full time and that I'm organized, I'm intelligent, I'm thorough, I'm detail oriented. And I still chase all these shiny objects because I know Jamil can make me a millionaire if I just follow what Jamil says. And then I go over and I see Jerry Norton and I go see Robert Wensley, right? And I go see James Hodges and Rich Wonders, and it keeps going and going and going. So these other people that only have like 2 hours a day, right? I'm single, no kids, living in a house alone. So I at least have some more time to do this. What do you guys have to say for somebody new like me that would help you kind of pick a lane? Because I know I could be a millionaire or whatever my goal is if I just followed any one of what you guys preach. Is there any tips and tricks there to help somebody pick a lane when they're
Brent,
when they're
do you have
doing
any
something
thoughts
more
on
than
this?
just being a realtor?
Yeah, I think, listen, there's going to be something in your gut that says, join this community, join this tribe, join this group that's going to support me. And I think anybody on the screen has that open-armed community that'll help support you, but just don't be an island by yourself. I mean, that's number one. Number one is making the choice that you're going to do it. Number two is you got to pick, where's your tribe? Because if you don't, you're gonna see everything, and then you're gonna filter it through your own experience, and that's the wrong way to go about coaching or mentorship or having something already laid out. Don't filter it through your own experience. Take what Jamil tells you, take the leaders that are in that community, and just do that, and just stay super, super focused. Take massive imperfect action on that game plan, and you can't lose. You literally can't lose, as long as you're talking to enough people and making enough offers. And then you don't have to know everything. You don't have to have, 250 ways to close a deal like Pace right off the bat. But you start building relationships with people that you can rely on, that they can close certain deals while you go and you figure out cash as is, or you figure out how to go and raise some funds to do a good flip that makes you six figures or whatever it is. But you gotta use that instinct, in my opinion, and I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. You have to use your gut and be like, okay, that every time I hear that person talk, I turn it up. You know what I mean? That's the instinct that you have to use, and then just follow the path. Just follow the path and stay dedicated to it.
I love that answer. It's a great answer. Jerry, what are your thoughts, brother?
I would say everything in this business is developmental. And so if you're starting at the bottom and you're working your way up, I think the very first thing you need to learn how to do is transact. Learn how to transact a deal. Typically, that's going to be wholesaling, because that's your fastest way to transact. So start with wholesaling, get the mechanics down of finding a good deal, contracting it, getting it to closing, finding a buyer. The process of transacting, you'll learn so much in that process. Nothing will teach you more than just that process. Then I would say, see if you can transact consistently. See if you can get it to where you're doing a couple deals a month consistently. Now you're going to start bringing in revenue. You can reinvest that revenue. You can start working on building a business. Maybe that leads you down a road of buy and hold or flipping or other things. But the problem is if you're getting shiny object syndrome, then you're kind of learning how to be okay. You're like a handyman. You're learning how to be okay at a lot of things, but not really good at one thing.
Yeah.
And so you're going to need to hyper focus on one thing. Now, if you take, for me, for example, if you take wholesaling or if you take transacting, I can wholesale creative, I can do novations, I can do takedowns, I can fix and flip. Like, there's a lot of things still within transacting. But I think what Jamil said, start with one. Like, maybe it's just a low cash assignment. Start there, learn that really well, transact that way several times until you feel like you've got that down, and then expand your knowledge and maybe then start to branch into a different type of transacting. But everything in this business is just learning one thing, doing it well, going deep with it, and then adding another vertical to your life or to your business until you get that one down, and then add another one. And pretty soon, a year or two from now goes by and you've got really strong skill sets in like multiple areas. It happens pretty quick, but you got to hyper focus and get really good at one thing at a time.
Just to add to that, thank you, Pace. To add to that, Jerry, beautifully put. Brent, beautifully put as well. The thing that Jerry, Pace, Brent, you three are married to the women of your dreams, correct?
Yes.
You have no eyes anywhere else, correct?
No.
Correct.
So there's no shiny object syndrome when it comes to something that you're in love with, something that you're obsessed with, something that you are so in love with it. There's just no way it could distract you.
Yeah.
Matt,
even my wife will sometimes go, Pace, look at those boobs.
right.
And I'll
you're like, I don't care.
I'll look directly at her boobs, my wife's boobs.
Or you'll be like, why are you making fun of Jamil? But what I'm saying is Matt, when you get obsessed, when you fall in love with the thing, right, you'll become a master at it. And after that, bro, shiny object syndrome will disappear. And it requires you to have that kind of obsession, to have that kind of love for the thing. And if it's acquisitions, whatever that is, transacting, that is the requirement for you to not. And if you are continuing to have shiny object syndrome, that means that you still don't have enough of an affinity for it. So start appreciating the thing that's been paying you and falling in love with that thing, because it's been supporting you. It's got your back. You've been making money. So it needs a reciprocating relationship. If you keep cheating on that thing, do you think it's going to honor you forever? There you go.
I have a very contrarian thought process to all of everything that they all said.
Awesome.
Can I give you shiny object syndrome on top of your shiny object syndrome? Okay, so Brent's answer is my favorite because he said, know thyself. Like very shortly, he said, know thyself. What tuning fork? Like if you hit a tuning fork and it hits this perfect sound, who do you listen to? You're like, that's my person, right? I listen to Jerry Norton on certain things. I'm like, that's my guy, right? I listen to Jerry, Jamil and Brent on other things. I'm like, that's my guy. And I take specific advice from those guys. It's not the same advice, right? I don't listen to Jamil closing sellers. Why? Because he doesn't go and close sellers. He does other things. He builds systems and process. He has the largest wholesale business in the country. So I find the things that they're specifically good at, and I go grab the things that I know they're really, really good at, and I put them together kind of like a transformer. But here's my advice. My advice is this. Check this out. I'm going to give you a little sneak peek into why I'm such a lunatic, okay? Some people always want to know, why is Pace so crazy? I'll show you why. Check it out. If you've never done this, I suggest that you do. Okay. This is a test that I think it's the only personality test you should take. Okay. It is the 34 Clifton strengths. Everybody has those 34 and they're just listed in numerical order. Look at my top 5. Okay. Would you say that I'm pretty strategic? I'm a developer. I develop people. Would you say that I'm the greatest community builder that real estate has ever seen? Which is where my includer characteristic comes from. I want to include everybody in everything. I am obsessed with that. However, look at my number 1. And when you deep dive into what my number 1 means, there's a whole breakdown of this. My number 1, okay, is basically, it's not that big. I almost want to make it like way bigger, but let's see if I can. Okay, check it out. So activator is my number 1. Strategic is number 2, futuristic, developer, and includer. Those are my top 5. That means these are always turned on. I don't ever have to turn these on, ever. These top 5 personality traits are, I wake up and those switches are all turned on. I don't think about it. It is just who I am. Some of my other ones down lower, like deliberative, okay, look at that. Deliberative is my last one. What does that mean? I do not deliberate. I do not think.
No.
I do not wait. I don't take notes. I don't freaking do any of that. In fact, I can't hang out with people that deliberate. And just, well, what if we maybe, you know what, dude? Like Jerry said, a bad workout is better than no workout. So activator, what does activator mean? It means that I cannot help myself but take action on everything that I learn. If I learn it, I have a hard time sticking around because I want to leave and implement it immediately. That's not even something I've trained myself to do. It's something ingrained in me. It is a cheat code. I have it. Other people don't have it, right? I know Jerry and Jamil and Brent have something similar. I don't know where their activator number is, but it's got to be very high. And so what it comes down to is being obsessed with the thing you are in tune with and shutting everything else off. I collaborate with people who are my opposite. I don't take their ideas and put in my business. I collaborate with them. And so what I would do is I would take a list of everything over the next month, over the next 2 months, and I would write down everything that gets me excited. And I would say, it doesn't mean I can't do those things. It just means I should collaborate with those people that are doing it instead of me ditch what I'm really going to be naturally good at. So I think all 3 of these guys had the right answer, but I'm just summing it all up into one. Go and focus on the thing that you're super lit up about, do it imperfectly, and go collaborate with the other people that are doing the strategies that you're like, I kind of like that, but I don't want to deviate from this thing. So also for the people out there that are like, why is Pace successful? Why is Jerry successful? Brent successful? Jamil is successful? Guys, we are so dumb. If you hung out with us, I'm telling you, I have no idea how freaking Jerry Norton built this concrete house in Puerto Rico and he poured all this concrete. I have no idea how he figured out how to do that. Other than all of us, all four of us make imperfect decisions all day, every day, but we cannot help ourselves but take action all day long. So whenever you stop and you're deliberating, it's the death of you. I would much rather you make mistakes on the wrong thing than just sit there and overthink all day long. But the best homework I could give you, Matt, is write down everything that's shiny object syndrome and start voting on it. Like start putting a score on it. Like, oh, burr. By the way, don't do burr. Nobody does burr anymore. That's like 1991 BS. Don't do that crap anymore. But write those things down. Start burr at the very bottom and then go, oh, I like Airbnb. Don't do Airbnb too. That's stupid. Okay. Don't do that. But those two should be at the very bottom. And you can tell everybody that does Airbnb that I think Airbnb is gone in 15 years. It's gone. Affordability is where you should focus your time and energy. How you acquire them is one thing. What you do with them is another thing. But affordability is going to win over the next 15, 20 years. Just remember that. And I would list all of those things. Every time you get a shiny object syndrome, write it down and go, oh, that shiny object. Oh, that shiny object. Start listing them out and go, where should I focus my time and energy? Also, last thing I'll say, all four of us will agree with this. Hugging toilets is very important. Mm-hmm. Okay. And what do I mean by that? When I started as a contractor, it was me, myself, and I had not hired my first employee, Jorge Chavez Gonzalez, unbelievable guy. Had not hired him yet. So I would have to prep. I would subcontract out to the painters, and I would have to prep the whole house because I found a paint crew that's like, we're really cheap, but we will not prep the house. We come in, we blow and go. We will not prep. And so I didn't want to uninstall a toilet. So I would mask the whole toilet off. And I remember hundreds of toilets hitting my chest as I hugged the toilet and got all the way around the toilet, got my face where people's dumps and their piss and everything was. And I gladly did it because it paid the bills. And so I got used to just doing the stuff that other people weren't willing to do. Mm. And so there are things where we will say, oh, go do the thing you're passionate about. You know what, dude? I can tell you there's days where Jerry, Brent, and Jamil and myself, every day, still to this day, we do stuff we don't want to do. Yep. So go do those things, itemize those things in series of what gets you lit up in the morning, and circle the one at the top and find the guy that teaches that and focuses on that. And then to Brent's point, guys, I could give a wholesale course, a raising private capital course, a how to pour 30 tons of concrete in Puerto Rico course. I could give you every course on planet Earth. It will not change your life. A community of people will change your life. And I think you saw that, Matt, at Squat Up Summit. You know that very, very well. You see what our community does. So I would go and focus on finding that little thing by prioritizing all the shiny objects, write them all down, circle the one you want, go, who teaches this and how can I be a part of their world, and go focus on that and double down. In fact, make a goal to be like, I want to be on a podcast with the person that's the number one person in that world. Amen.
Oh, me and Jamil just did that the other day.
There you go. There you go. That's a freaking great question, Matt Duke. So I like the live questions. What do you guys think?
Me too.
That's fun. Bring them up.
I love it. Keep it coming.
Okay. So let's see here. Meaningful relationships, baby. That's super important. Melissa Leek says, can you show that list again, Pace? I do find, Jerry, Brent, and Jamil, tell me if I'm wrong on this. I find that people's number one problem is not where do I start in wholesale? Where do I start to flip houses? Where do I start here? I think people's number one problem is they don't even know themselves. They've been told from their childhood who they are, what not to do. I remember even like a week ago, I'm hanging out with Corbin. We're doing a date and I'm walking her to the truck. I'm loading her in the truck. I'm getting her buckled. I'm doing the thing. All right. Hey, don't do that. Hey, do this. Hey, let's get out. Come on. Nope. Come over on this door. All right. Come down. Hold my hand. I walk her down. I walk her into through the Target parking lot. I'm navigating not forcefully, like in a negative way, but I'm exerting strength through my arm to her arm to guide her which door we're going into. I lead her down aisles. Literally every little thing since you were a child has been told what to do, whether it's spoken or not spoken. Okay. Every single thing, going to church, going to school, elementary, preschool, talking to your parents, every single thing has been told to you your whole life. You then get a job. You're told what to do. Then at that point, you're even reinforced, don't do this, or you will have severe consequences, losing your job, shame, all of these things. Now you realize, okay, I was meant for more. The world that we operate in, Nobody's going to hold your hand. And it is so hard to be out there going, oh my gosh, where's my dad? I'm in the Target parking lot. The car's going to hit me and my dad's not there to hold my hand. Welcome to entrepreneurship. Welcome to entrepreneurship. And now you have to get to know yourself, which is a scary thing. It is a scary, scary thing. And when I talk to people, I go, what do you like? I don't know.
I don't. Yeah.
I don't know, man. Can you tell me what I like? And I'm not saying that to be rude. I am saying it to tell you the honest truth of thousands of people I talk to. And then what they like is they like me because I can tell you your religion by how you tie your shoes. I know that sounds crazy, but I can tell you how you were grown up. I can tell whether your parents are still married today, how many siblings you had just by watching you walk, seeing how you interact with people. I can see those mannerisms show up in your life. And so people line up when I'm at an event and they go, tell me about myself. I go, I know what you should do. You should go do this, this, this. And they go, oh my gosh, you just crafted my perfect life for me. And I go, okay, cool, go do it. And they come back 30 days later, like, dude, I'm doing it. Thank you for telling me exactly what to do. I think that really is people's biggest problem is like either A, they don't know themselves, or B, they don't know themselves and they can't figure it out. So they just need somebody to tell them exactly, step by step, exactly what to do. And then they'll go do it. People want to change. They just don't know themselves.
Yeah. To add to that, Pace, because you're 100% right. I think that it's incredibly important to have an honest self-assessment. Like, you know, I was talking about this concept of giving yourself an appraisal, like literally scoring yourself in the aspects of your life, like an appraiser would a home. You know, where are you in your relationships? Where are you in your health? Where are you in your business? Where are you in your spirituality? Where are you in these different aspects? And be real about it. Tell the truth. How many times do we hear from, I mean, Pace, I'm sure you've heard this 100 times, Jerry, Brent as well, the same. You talk to somebody who's like, man, you know, every time I call a homeowner, this thing happens. And you know, when somebody says every time they do something that they've done it 4 or 5 times at most, right? Because there's no way statistically that anything can ever happen all the time, every single time. So you've done a little bit of work, a little bit of time, and then after that, you quit and stop. Give yourself an honest self-assessment. Really, really, really tell yourself the truth about what you're doing, what lights you up, how much effort you're putting in, because that will move you leagues ahead of where you'll be if you're just living in BS land.
Last thing I'll say on this, we'll jump somebody else on here. Guys, in the side chat, I'm going to give you the email to my personality coach, the girl that I use for myself. I hired her for my whole team. I hired her. What I did also, I brought her into the sub 2 community and I paid for 50 people to have a one-on-one session with her because she's helping me craft what we call the avatar book, right? Because I believe there's 22 avatars and 22 different paths to choose when you join and get into real estate. Some people never want to own real estate. Some people want to wholesale. Some people hate real estate agents, me. Some people really like talking to sellers, me. And so there's different pathways, right? Everybody's different. Brent really hit on this really, really hard of like, dude, you're going to find the thing that is like a tuning fork for you. Rosie Noel is unbelievable at breaking you down to yourself. And so she'll make you pay $65 for a test. If you can't even put $65 into yourself, then just go into the mirror and just smack yourself. Okay. Put $65 into taking the test. It will spit out your 34 personality traits. And then I think for $300, she'll give you a 1 hour one-on-one with her on Zoom. I don't quote me on that price. She's probably changed the price since then, but she is unbelievable. And if you are one of those people that says, I don't know myself, then I just gave you guys her email. Her email is on the screen right now. It's rosie@rosienoel.com. And I do think Brent, Jerry, and Jamil, you guys should bring her in and have her talk about the identity of wholesalers, because she's deep dived. I think she's interviewed over 1,000 of my students and like help people figure out which avatar they are by just identifying them. She sent me a voice memo the other day, 7-minute voice memo. And she's like, I had no idea how diverse avatars were in real estate. I now get it after thousands of interviews. So she's amazing. She understands our business. Myron Briley says Carolyn and myself, that's his wife, we did a joint Zoom with her to work better as a team. So Really great person to go reach out to if that is one of your guys' biggest struggles out there in the wholesale world. I want to go to a girl. The sad thing is Lolita, who is behind the stage, she does not have her camera on. So we're going to go to Michael Mahone. Michael Mahone. What's up, my jabroni? How you doing, dude? What can we do for you? Michael, can you hear us? All right, Michael, you are muted. Figure that out. Put your thumbs up, and I'll pick on you again. John, here we go. We got Julian. Oh, I know what we're gonna do. I was gonna go to Julian. We'll go to John Pham. He's been in here a little bit longer. What's up, Pham?
Hey, what's up, man?
This is John Pham, guys. I did make a Pham joke, but his last name is Pham. Pham, what do you got for us? What do you got for us, Pham?
Well, I guess I'm kind of all over the place, but I guess I'm kind of in the same boat as Duke is. Like, I'm in wholesale mentorship, and I'm also in Astro Blaster, and then I also like what you do, Pace, and it's like all these things get me excited, and it's like,
how can you not like what I do? I get to hang out with Jerry Norton every summer. How could you not like that?
And I want to learn the whole sub 2 community too, and I'm on the Facebook group, and I want to learn how to do all that stuff too. It's like I want to have all these things under my belt, and it's like, I don't know, I guess I'm all over the place.
Here's the steps to overcome that. In the very beginning, I would say everybody needs to spend about 30 to 50 hours learning terminology, learning how to underwrite a deal, learning how to network with people, and how to do things ethically. Then the only thing you should be doing to learn, fam, is going out and creating mistakes and problems, and then going to everybody and saying, I have a problem. Can somebody help me solve this? Okay. That is what you should be doing right now. You are at a point in your business where you should have problems. If I said, hey, fam, what problems do you have? And your only problem is I don't have leads. That is the problem. That is the problem of a child. Okay. That sounds really abusive and really mean, but it's meant to catch your attention. You don't have leads. Therefore, your problems are childish. If you have childish problems, you're going to have a childish bank account. The bigger the problems, the bigger the paycheck, right? And we've been trained to learn to avoid problems. In this business, you got to chase problems, create problems so that you have something to solve. So, fam, what is a problem in your business right now besides lack of leads that you need help with tonight? If the answer is nothing, then we know what the problem is, which is you're not generating leads, and that means you're not generating problems. Is that where you currently are?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. You want to solve your problems? Create more. You want to solve your I'm stuckness? Create real problems that people outside of yourself can solve. And like Brent said today, you need a community of people to help you solve those problems. You will never solve them on your own. So you have Astro Blaster. Okay. Why don't you, I'm going to give you a challenge, fam. I want you to use Astro Blaster this week, and I want you to reach out to me and Jamil, and me and Jamil will work your problems for you. We will work your leads for you. Bring your problems. Go generate leads. Go generate conversations. Bring them to me and Jamil. We'll even talk about them on Wholesale Hotline, bro. Mm-hmm. That's your mission for the week. You got it?
I got it. I appreciate it.
Go get it done. Go get it done. What do you guys think about people avoiding problems? You guys see that all the time?
Oh, yes. It just goes back to the comfort, right? It goes back to just, it's really uncomfortable to be uncomfortable. And we're a society that is craving comfort, and we feel like if we're not, everything's not okay, if we're not in just the perfect position in the perfect place in our little bed, if everything's just not comfy cozy, then there's big issues. But there's no growth happens there. You remember when you were kids and you had growing pains? You know how much remember how much that hurt?
Yes.
Right. I was going to add to that, Pace, what you said there. You get paid in direct proportion to the value you provide or the problems you solve. Want to get paid more money? Provide bigger value or solve bigger problems. Mm-hmm. That's it.
Jerry, when negotiating, we have the price, we have the terms, and we have us. They have to trust that we can get the job done. Anything else besides price, terms, and me when negotiating? Anything?
That's it.
So the price is pretty easy to figure out, right? What people's expectations are. The terms, are pretty easy to figure out. So really, the skill involved in solving these problems is whether or not people trust you to get it done, and that comes with certainty and likability. And so I would ask all three of you guys, how can people that aren't used to talking to strangers create that certainty and likability?
Easy.
You know?
How
Join
do you,
the team.
Yeah, of course. Be on a team. I think that's one of the fastest ways, right? Or even if you're not joining a team, there's ways that you can work adjacent to other people in the beginning so that you can learn the ropes. Remember, when you had a W-2 job, Brent, Jerry, Pace, myself included. Like
Jerry's never had a W-2 job. This guy came out of the womb as a Neanderthal chopping wood, bro. I'm telling you.
What happened for me when I had a W-2? They made me watch all this training. They made me read manuals and stuff, and they said, okay, once you do this, you're going to be set to be able to start the job. When I started my first day of the job, I still had no idea what the heck I was doing. It wasn't until I sat down beside somebody and I actually watched them do what they were supposed to be doing in the day. And then I was like, oh, that's the job. Got it. So then I took what they were doing and I put my spin on it and away I went. And just watching somebody will get you there.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. We have this really cool challenge coming up in November. Okay. It will be the largest challenge that Wholesale has ever seen. It's called the No One Left Behind Challenge. And what we're doing is we're putting 2,000 teams together across the country. And we're putting a closer, somebody who's proven to close deals before, with a brand new person that's never done a deal before, pairing them up with a lender like a Gator, pairing them up with a TC, and pairing them up with an Astro student who can help sell the deal and dispo that deal. Imagine if you were part of that 5-person team for a week, what would happen to your life? What would happen to your life?
You'd learn so much.
I'm telling you, the place that I get my hair cut, they have to apprentice and clean up all the hair clippings with a broom for 2 years before they earn a chair. 2 years to earn maybe $100,000, right? Maybe. And that's hustling with the full schedule, doing all sorts of, coloring and all sorts of different things that they do. And so it's like, we jump right into this and we're like, well, I talked to this seller and I talked to everybody at the right to everybody I talk to doesn't want to sell. I don't understand. And it's like, well,
everyone,
you know what I mean? Everyone, right?
Yeah, all 5.
But I mean, if you really find somebody in your community and you're being super proactive and you're like, I will do anything. I will knock doors. I will I will call anybody. I will talk to agents all day long. I'll send texts. I'll do whatever it takes. Just help me out. People will work with you. And that's how you get apprenticeship. I mean, you could jump to the front of the line by just joining a coaching or a mentorship that's already established. But there's plenty of opportunities locally as well.
Yes, sir.
I mean, there's really no excuse to having really great people that'll help support you.
Michael Mahone, what do you got for us, my brother?
Hey, a couple months ago, Joe said he's going to start a wholesale hotline fund to help us in South Carolina. And ran across a pretty big deal that I need you guys to help take down.
I love it. Email me, pacejmorby@me.com. I'm going to just use Jerry's money to do it, but email me, pacejmorby@me.com. We'd love to help you out in South Carolina. You got a big lag, just FYI. Guys, one thing I do not have patience for, people always say, Pace, you're so patient. I'm not patient with slow internet. So we got to be Michael Mahone, pacejmorby@me.com. Send me an email. We will help you fund a deal. We'll take a look at it. And we'll help you fund that deal. That'd be great. Thank you so much for coming on here. Armando Montrand. How do I say that, bro?
You nailed it. Montrand.
Okay, cool.
Armando, yeah. Pace, what's up? What's up, everybody?
What up?
Hey.
What up, bro? What do you got for us?
Man, I have so many
things. Hey, dude,
now.
Just so you know, you don't have to pretend like you were driving with your seatbelt on. We know you were breaking the law, okay? Just because you pulled over doesn't mean,
Well, I'm actually driving now, but at least it's on, so.
I love it. What do you got for us?
Yeah, actually, the talk of the shiny object, but I'm actually working a lead right now, or a deal. We're trying to lock up a contract for a wholesale deal, but I'm looking at it as a possible wholetail, so a takedown. But a challenge I'm having, and Jerry, is it's a not super rural. It's like maybe 30 minutes outside of Worcester, Mass. I'm out of Boston. And there's not a lot of like as is comps. So it's hard for me to figure out if this is worth the route of going to hotel, where most of the comps that are there have been done up, not over the top, but have been pretty good.
Okay, I have an answer for you, but Jerry's the takedown king. Anytime you tell me a city, I immediately think of a name, always. No matter what the city is, there's always a name that pops up. And somebody that's doing a lot of flips 30 minutes out of Boston in all sorts of directions is Justin Tumanowski and his 5 partners. Oh, yeah. I would reach out to Justin Tumanowski. He would probably buy that deal or help you close that deal. I'm currently doing a church rehabilitation with him. I mean, I'm his private money lender, but I'm not doing anything but sending him money. Jerry, what are your thoughts on like semi-rural areas along Armando's question?
Yeah, so you just have to keep in mind the less you can validate value, the more risky it is. And if you're going to take it down, then you're taking all the risk because now you're going to own this property. So you want to get really clear on value and make sure that feel really good about that. So if you're rural and you just don't have a lot of data, I mean, for one, you got to buy it extra deep. You got to buy it even deeper because you need to offset some of that risk. Because if you're off a little bit, you need to be even deeper, right, to offset that. And then you got a couple options. None of them are great, but you got to go further out. You got to go further back in time, and you got to do your best to create a value on that property. And just know if you're using financing, then whoever you take that deal to, if you bring that deal to me, I'm going to be doing the same thing. I'm going to be trying to get a really clear picture of value. And the only way I'm going to get a really clear picture of value is to look at relevant data that I can feel good about, right? And that's what anybody's going to do. So that's the challenge with rural. Now, if you're wholesaling, keep in mind, if you're within an hour of a major metro market, then you can draw from the city buyers, right? Meaning cash buyers will go about an hour outside of their core market for a good deal. Okay, once you start pushing out an hour, past an hour, and I'm talking like an hour drive, your buyers are going to have a lot harder time. They're going to be a lot less interested in going outside of their core market to go see that property. And it's going to get harder and harder to move that deal. Okay, now, if you're taking it down and it's going back on the MLS, that's a little bit different because now you're getting all the eyeballs and all it takes is, one retail buyer that's going to want that in that rural area. But again, I would just be extra careful. I would be buying that a little deeper than I even want to, just to offset that I'm rural.
Yeah, the property itself, it's a relatively, it's really one room. It was a hoarder was just in the one room, and for the rest of the house, it's mostly just trash out. The seller basically did everything and said, "I'm not touching that room." So the clean out is pretty good. It's a 1990 build, but yeah, I get it. No, that's helpful. And that's what I was thinking, was either going a little bit further back in time, but trying to stay within the same limits. And then some of the ones that I have found, it's just, again, it's so wildly different, where I seen as kind of as is for 150, but then I saw another maybe closer to mine for like 250. So and then I'm using the averages in there to try to balance it out, but it's definitely a little bit riskier. There's a lot of building that's happening behind the house, which has been good. So yeah.
Why not just wholesale it?
If I wholesaled it, it's I have to basically offer this woman $100,000, and she's not open to that at all. I've got her right now at 178. And she's
wait. Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. So
Get Jamil.
Wait, you're wanting to wholesale this because you have to overpay?
I just think that the spread is better on the wholesale. I said $100,000. I'm sorry. I'd have to probably offer a little around 151 for a wholesale to make $10,000. But
I think whether it was a wholesale or a wholesale, the acquisition number is the acquisition number, my brother.
Okay.
You don't do gymnastics on the strategy to exit because you got to pay more on the in. You're setting yourself up for a world of hurt over here. If you don't make that decision to wholesale it because you had to pay more for it on the front end, this screams wholesale to me. If you can't wholesale this thing, it's not a deal. And you sure as hell don't want to go and put money in behind this thing to try to take it down and then sell it on the open market if you had to pay more for it because
Yes.
And that's the reason why you couldn't make it a wholesale deal. That to me right now, as you explain this, that's not the play, brother.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't pay more when you wholesale. You don't pay more. In fact, you're probably buying even deeper.
I think that's where my confusion was like, I thought wholesale because you can give them a little bit more.
No.
Okay.
No, now if you do it right, you should make more. But remember, you're buying it and then you're picking up a lot of costs. You're going to clean it, you're going to trash it out, you're going to get insurance, you're going to have financing, you're going to have closing fees twice because you're going to buy it, then sell it. You're going to have commissions. So, and then you got to factor in profit. And because of all that risk, your profit better be substantial. So you're not paying more when you wholesale. You're buying just as deep, if not deeper.
Awesome. This is
and keep in mind, here's my rule with my business. Unless I can make double or more taking it down, then I'm going to sign it all day long. It's got to be twice as much to go through all the extra work and steps to take it down and resell it.
And the stress when it's not selling, you have it on the market. There's nothing worse.
Bro. So if I can make 20 doing an assignment and I can make 30 wholesale, I'm going to do the assignment. I've got to make 40 or more for me to even consider taking it down.
Brent, you take down a lot of deals, bro. What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, something real important, Armando, is remember we never tell the property owners what they should sell their house for. We tell them what we can buy it for.
Yeah.
Okay, and there's a big distinction there because I think that we feel like we have this duty to property owners to get to their number to make them happy. But you got to be really strong with your negotiating because if you can't make it happen and make it happen smooth, it's going to be a nightmare. You're going to have to backtrack and lower the price after you go and try to put it out to your buyers or close on it. And then it turns into a mess. So when we close on deals, the reason we close on deals is because they're massive deals. I don't want anybody to know about these deals before I own this deal. Okay, I want to close it as quick as possible. I'll keep them in there for 6 months if they want to rent it back for me for
It's
6 months.
Seasoning. You're just letting it season.
I'm going to close that deal as soon as possible. But remember, you just run. I mean, you've got more costs involved, right? You've got your private money costs if you're doing that. You've got your closing costs certainly, which is you're always going to eat that, and you might have to eat it on both sides. The number one thing going on, and Jamil, you could speak to this as well with our cash buyers. They're trying to get us lower because they're giving 3% concessions on every single flip that they're putting out there. Not only that, but they're spending on average $7,000 in what we call a BINSR, which is the buyer's inspection notice. So the bigger cash buyers in our market that do really well know that they're paying 3% more in concessions, and they're giving on average $7,000 for random repairs that they didn't catch the first time around. So you got to be real aggressive out there right now with your pricing. And we're deal finders, not deal creators. So don't force it. You're not going to convince somebody to sell their house at the price that you want them to because you're a wizard at spinning words. It isn't going to last.
Well said.
Money, bro. Money. All right, Reggie, give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. There he is. All right, Reggie, what's up, my guy? How you doing, dog? Is that the Detroit Lions on your hat?
Huh?
Is that the Detroit Lions on your hat? What is that?
No, it's that's my logo.
Oh, it's a wolf eating a bluebird. I love it.
Are those swords and
They're
weapons?
swords. Those are samurai swords.
I see some nunchucks too, guys.
Yeah,
dang, bro. Now
this is my favorite guy. I love this guy.
You remember that house that Jerry bought with like the head in the freezer? This is the guy.
No,
he was
Don't
involved.
No, Pace, he's the best.
Where were you when I needed you?
Nope, not my state. So it wasn't me.
Where was that? That was in Colorado, Jerry?
Yes, Colorado.
Some random city
Springs,
in
right?
Colorado, right?
Yes.
Reggie, what do you got for us, brother? What do you got for us?
I guess my biggest thing, I have a question. Is guys give me advice because this is my harder point. Is I get beat out a lot. My main method is agent outreach or MLS offers. From being an Astro and everything. But like sometimes it's just I get beat out a lot. I feel like I'm coming in too low sometimes. I mean, I've tried doing like the fix and fit formula and like percentage of ARV, but sometimes it's just I still feel like I get beat out a lot. So
What market?
Jacksonville, Florida mainly is the market I focus on, but I do look at other stuff in, the other major markets as well.
I would argue, before Jamil jumps in here, I would argue, because I'm also in astro flipping, if I don't get shut down out of deals, I'm not offering low enough, straight up, just letting you know. Because there are a lot of wholesalers in the marketplace that are straight, like they're the reasons why we're getting regulated in this business.
Yeah.
And within a year or 2 years, they're going to be completely gone anyway, which is thank goodness. But you are going to get these kids that don't have samurai swords. They don't know what they're doing, bro. They're not legit like you. You're going to get kids that are, in their mom's basement submitting offers and just doing like 80% of ARV and hoping to lock up deals. My advice, right? This is something I've learned from Jamil years and years ago, 7, 8, 9 years ago. I'm going to miss out on offers, but I'm not going to like come back and say, okay, well, let me give you more money. Cause now you're building a relationship with that agent. You're training that agent that you didn't give your highest and best in the beginning.
Yeah.
But what you need to remember is that when people are outbidding you, I own a title company. Jamil and I own a title company. We see the stats. We see the stats of wholesalers that are locking up these contracts. 70, 80% of them that they're overpaying, they just fall out of contract. The other 20, they close on them and they don't know what they're doing. They just go get hard money. They close on these things and put themselves in bad situations. I think you let these wholesalers beat you out, and then you follow up the week after, follow up the week after, follow up the week after. Hey, did you guys close? Hey, did you guys close? Hey, did you guys close? You will be the absolute ray of sunshine in their life when that deal contract or that deal cancels. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'll give you a quick story and I'll go to Jamil because I learned a lot of this stuff from Jamil. About 8 months ago, I buy a 160 unit multifamily deal in Tucson, seller finance, $20 million purchase price, kind of a gangster deal. We submitted an LOI, right? In multifamily, you don't submit offers. You submit LOIs 100% of the time. Nobody submits offers in multifamily. You start the conversation with a letter of intent, LOI. So we start the conversation. We go 3 months of due diligence and going back and forth and showing credibility and all this kind of stuff. Well, we get down to the day we're going to sign the contract, and the seller and their broker call us up and they go, "Oh my gosh, we've loved working with you, but somebody's beat us out. Beat you guys out by $1 million offer. $1 million. It's a hedge fund. They showed us the cash to close." I'm sitting there going, "Are you kidding me? $1 million more than me? I'm doing seller finance. I don't do cash. I hate cash. It's boring to me. I don't want to do it. I want to do creative finance. It's all I want to do." So we're offering $20 million. And I think the best cash offer that they had before that was like 18.5. We were offering $1.5 million more than any other cash offer. So effectively, that other person was like $2.5 million higher.
Damn.
I have learned through Jerry and Brent and Jamil over all these years I've been friends with these guys that I don't get bothered by that anymore. I just go, perfect. Let me give you the rope to hang yourself with. And you're not going to come back to me because you're going to be too embarrassed. So I'm going to put in my CRM to follow up with you once a week on Friday. Hey, how's that deal going? I hope it closes. Hey, how's that deal going? I hope it closes. Cheers. Oh, if it does, and the off chance it does close, you cheers them. Okay. About a month later, Ryan, my acquisition guy in my fund, Ryan reaches out every single Friday. The broker comes back and goes, "Hey, are you guys still good at that 19.5 million?" And Ryan comes back and goes, "Absolutely." And the broker says, "I imagine that you probably want to renegotiate because of the way we treated you." And what do you think we said? No, because that's not how we operate. We want to be who we say we are. Say, no, we want to close. And instead of closing in 30 days, we'd like to close in 15 days. Is that good for you? And we close on that deal, 19.5 million, because we got outbeat first and foremost. The hedge fund never closed on the deal. Okay. They were just kicking tires, seeing what they could get, playing games, and they're not in the long haul. I had dinner the other night with Monique Walker and Jamil Damji at Sushi Brokers here in Scottsdale. And I'm sitting here looking at Monique, a lady that Jamil makes her $1 million a year, and she makes Jamil $1 million a year. And that's as long as I've known Jamil. It's all about that long-term relationship and always being the guy that goes, "I'm not going to play that game. This is my offer, but I want you to know that I'm a solid offer for the rest of your life. I'm not going to change my price. I'm not going to do these things. This is how I build credibility. It is a long game, and that's the game I want to play." So my advice is the advice that Jamil's given me over years and years and years and years, which is let them win come back and be the backup and follow up and have utmost professionalism every single time you freaking follow up. And chances are 99% chance, Reggie, you are not following up when you get beat out because you're moving on to the next deal. The deal is not lost until they close on the deal. That's the day that that deal is lost. Okay. And you would be blown away if you owned a title company with me and Jamil and you saw the data of how many wholesalers failed to sell their contracts because they outpaid. You would realize, oh, my deal is after I lose the deal. My deal is in the follow-up and showing my professionalism and keeping firm on my price. Okay. So Jamil, I just wanted to articulate something I've learned from you for years, Jerry for years, Brent for years. Do you have anything to add to this since I've already stolen everything?
No, it's beautifully said, Pace. The piece that I would add is that there's two things are going to happen, right? Exactly what Pace said. You're either going to continue to follow up to see if it falls out, because there's a high likelihood that it will, or if it doesn't, there is a new buyer for you. So either way, you win by tracking. Either way, you're going to get your gain from the experience, because if people are beating you out, you might need to adjust the numbers. Maybe you're shifted too low. So you're either going to get data or you're going to get an opportunity. Either of them are gold for you.
And can I ask you a question? How far are you finding out how far off you are? How far off are you getting beat? Do you know?
I don't know too much. I mean, on a couple of them, when I've kind of followed back and just like checked to see where they're at, I mean, it was probably like 15,000. Like I would be lower.
Okay. Bro, that's nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. So here's how I would look at that. First of all, you find out every single time how badly you're getting beat. And then that's telling you if you're on track with your offer. So if you're getting beat by 10, 15,000, you're right on track. All you need now is a better relationship, and you'll start getting those deals more. Okay. I had my son, he's 18, and he was this close. He had a verbal, and they were going back and forth, and he was at like this is Detroit. He was at like 63. And then at the last minute, the agent came in and said, dude, I'm really sorry. We got a last minute offer that was at like 78 or something like that. And he was all bummed out. And I said, dude, you were right on. You had it, because we know now what the buyer market's willing to pay. And you were about 10, 12 or whatever under that. You were right there. You were this close. So just keep doing this, and you're going to start getting those, because it's very much relationship driven. It's the $10,000 or $15,000 difference is nothing when you have a relationship. Those agents will steer deals to you. They'll be calling you before they call the other people, and you'll start getting deals. So I would look at that if you're right there, that you're doing something right. You know, you're doing this right. If you're like $40,000 off, there's something off, like you're not running your numbers right, or you might be in an area where buy and hold investors are buying them and they're paying a lot more. Make sure you really got your head around what the market's paying for those properties, and make sure you're offering right. But if you're losing out by 10 or 15 grand, dude, you're right on. You just got to keep going, and you're gonna get there.
Yeah. Reggie, if you don't mind, let me show you a visual of what follow-up does for you. Okay. By the way, Reggie, I need something from you, bro.
Okay.
You see those samurai swords behind you?
Yep.
I want you to flex both arms, put up your elephant trunks for me, and show me your freaking biceps. I just need to see that, dude. Boom. There it is. Oh, he's got the flames, dude. Imagine him swinging a samurai sword with that flame arm. That's awesome, freaking dude. Legit.
That's great.
Okay, so Reggie, let me show you something kind of cool. This is a $20 million property I own. You guys can pull this up. We bought this property because of follow. We lost out on the deal. $1 million we were off. And now we own 160 units. You know how much this thing makes me every month? $50,000 a month net. Boom. After everything. And when we let the deal go, my team calls me up and they go, bro, should we raise our price? I said, what are we doing to ourselves, guys? We don't train our audience. We don't train our customers to believe that we didn't give our highest and best. If I'm building long-term relationships, Jamil style, right? Jerry style, work with a lot of agents. You want your agents to go, oh, I know the person that's going to close on this deal. That comes from long-term follow-up. And thank goodness this business is hard in that regard, that you get to build your reputation, because it's the one thing that will edge everybody else out that's not willing to do that. And Last thing I'll tell you, this is something I learned from Brent a long time ago. So I sit down with Brent and with my wife and I probably 7 years ago, something like that. And I wasn't doing one thing that was really important. At the time, I was spending $20,000 a month on marketing. I was doing direct mail. I was doing billboards. I was a home investor. I was a We Buy Ugly Houses guy. You know, the yellow stupid sign, ugly guy.
I've tried that before. That didn't really work out too good.
I made good money from doing it. I loved doing it. I had so much fun doing it. I was capped out and I was like a franchise dude. And I'm better than those guys. I became better than them. Sorry, I got to be a little cocky. I just was better marketing. And how did I learn marketing? I learned marketing from Brent. I started learning marketing from Jerry. I started learning from all these guys, right? But one thing Brent said to me when my wife was my TC, she was my transaction coordinator, is my wife and I were spending 20 grand a month on marketing. And my wife very lovingly comes into me. She goes, "Hey, can I help you with anything?" I was like, "Oh, I'm so busy. No, I'm good. I'm good." Like a man does. And my wife just takes it upon herself based on Brent's advice. She says, "I'm going to go and call all of my husband's leads from last month. And I'm going to see why my husband could not close these deals. And more importantly, going back to what Jamil just said, okay? Jamil just said, you'll get yourself the best buyers on planet Earth when you just call who bought the deal instead of you." That's one of the best pieces of advice that you could ever get. One of my best friends, one of all of our best friends, actually, Zach Keeps, one of the best buyers in all of Arizona. I made hundreds of thousands of dollars with this guy, maybe even upwards of $1 million. My wife found him by just going, "Hey, I see you close this deal. My husband did an offer on this deal." And my wife introduces me to Zach Keeps. We end up making a bunch of money together. He becomes one of my best buyers. He was willing to pay more than anybody else because he has his own crews. He's on site. He's not delegating it. It's not a side hustle for him. He's really figured out systems and processes. And I needed that buyer. So the reality is I needed people to beat me out on price. I needed that. When you really change your paradigm, I needed that in order for me to legitimately find quality buyers. The only reason it made it so is because Brent's advice to my wife, which was call Pace's leads he's not closing, and just ask, why wasn't my husband able to close the deal?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you know what the number one answer is when my wife did the follow-up was? The number one answer. Because I would run to the lowest hanging fruit. New lead comes in, PPC, new lead comes in, direct mail, new lead comes in, whatever, calls my phone, right? All at the time I was doing all inbound. And which is the best form of marketing. It's just expensive. I would just run to the next lowest hanging fruit.
You weren't following up.
Zero. I was like, if I didn't close the deal, it wasn't meant to be. And I would move. And I wasn't a conscious decision. It was just like new lead, new me, right? My wife would call them up and their answer was, "We saw your husband one time. He said he'd follow up with an offer and he didn't." Okay. So I fixed that. We all of a sudden double our contracts. I go from 2 contracts to 4 contracts, right? A month. Then the next thing my wife started figuring out was, dude, we're not that far off, but we're getting beat out by certain people because they're just stupid and they make big mistakes. There's a lot of unintelligent wholesalers in the marketplace. They're learning only on YouTube. They don't have somebody comping. I had somebody comping all my deals. Who was it? It was Jamil. I was taking Brent's advice, using Jamil's comps. I was sure to win, but the problem was I wasn't following up when I lost out on an appointment. And we kept a system. So my wife started following up and saying, "Hey, did that deal close? Hey, did this happen? Hey, did this happen?" I never deviated from my price. And we started closing way more deals. I'd say half of my deals came from the after party, which is when the other wholesaler fails to perform. Then here's another piece for you. Okay. I'm going to give you another piece of advice. Hopefully this is good for everybody else. I've gotten this from Jerry a couple times. What happens if you just call a title company and you get the cancellations, the contracts that cancel? What if you call title companies who did a title report? They put time and energy into calling the seller. They've put all this stuff together and the wholesaler just ghosts on the contract. What if you call the title company and go, "Hey, I'm a buyer. If you ever have stuff that cancels or people that ghost, like, please let me know what's going on." Some title companies are going to just straight up give you the information. Bro, people beating you out can be a whole full-fledged $1 million a year business.
Yeah.
And I've learned that from Brent, Jamil, Jerry. They've all given me a piece of advice. The difference is you just got to do it. And it's tough when you have new leads coming in and you're told generate new leads. I would designate a time on your week, every week, Friday afternoons, right before the weekend hits. Check in with everybody that you've been beat out by in the last 3 or 4 months, and just check in on them. Hey, how's that deal going? Hey, how's that deal going? How's that deal? Chances are you're going to get 50% of those deals come back to you. And the other chances are that 50% of those agents are going to come back to you and go, dude, freaking Reggie, that dude with samurai swords, he knows how to close a deal, bro. And he's professional. Any thoughts on this, Brent or Jerry or Jamil, before we move on?
I mean, I think that was a phenomenal advice there, Pace. All in all, he's got a lot that he knows he can go in and work on. But Brent, what do you think?
Yeah, I think I always keep an eye on inventory, the amount of actives versus pendings, and I adjust my calculations based on that, depending on where it's at in the market. So I think you're probably...
Have you seen where actives are in Phoenix right now?
Yeah. Yeah, it's awesome. Go ahead, Jamil.
No, I mean, like we're significantly higher, right? And so that gives us so much leverage.
I know.
It gives you so much leverage on price. And so you can say that to your agents. You can say, look, I'm watching what's going on in the market right now. Things are stalled, right? You must be having a little bit of a hard time. Let me help that.
But if you look in certain markets, you're going to see that there's less than a month of inventory. There's less than 2 months of inventory. There's more than 4 months. I mean, you go to Buckeye and it's 4 months of inventory, Jamil. So you have to be much more conservative. You know what I mean? As opposed to being in 85018 or 85016. You know what I mean? Where there's no properties.
And then on condition, because if you look, here's the other piece that you can game the stats in your favor by understanding this. If you look at turnkey, actually like retail ready to move in, those properties are going under contract in 20 days or less. Everything that's sitting, the 17,000 or so listings that are sitting right now, it's all original condition priced at ARV.
Yep. Yeah.
That's all it is.
It's awesome. One, because, the sellers, they understand that it's not like this crazy market that they could list it for whatever they want and sell it for. You know what I mean? So they're more open to looking at the actual numbers. But when I hear something like this, like getting beat out, right, Jamil, there's something going on with the way that I think he's offering too aggressively, which is great.
Yeah.
You're just gonna have to make more offers to get that home run than than some of these probably more seasoned investors, because we beat out people all the time. I mean, I beat out Lane on a deal.
Lane Peterson.
Yeah, in South.
Good.
Phoenix.
Beat him out every time. I'm sick of Lane, dude.
He was at 143 in this house, and I'm at 166.
Wow.
You know what I mean? We got a buyer for it today at 210.
Wow.
And I'm like, it's an R3 in this area that we've got a lot of buyers that are chomping at the bit to buy these. You know what I mean? And so one, it's understanding what your buyers are looking for, which really helps, which I love pulling on that thread. Who bought this and what they buy it at? And go talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
How did you buy it this high? My numbers were so much lower. How does this make sense? And you'll figure it out.
Every one of those people should be your homies. Every single one of
them.
Every
single one. I love seeing that when it's like some guy just went off and just beat us by like 20, 30 grand. I'm like, yes, I want to know you. I want to know all your friends. I want to come to your house for dinner. Invite me over for Christmas. We're best friends for a little while so I can figure out how you can make all these crazy numbers work.
Let me adopt your network, bro.
Yeah.
Lolita Puit, you have your camera pointed towards a ceiling. I want to bring you on here because this has basically been just a bunch of dudes with samurai swords. We're sick of it. Okay. The machismo, all the testosterone we have to deal with on this show is overwhelming. It's time for us to get a female on here to kind of level this all out. Okay. All right, Lolita, here we are. Let's see if your internet is good today. How you doing?
Can you hear me?
Hell yeah,
Yes.
we can hear you. Tell us what you need. We're here to help you. We're here to serve. What do you got for us?
Okay, well, hi, first and foremost. I wasn't expecting y'all to bring me on. Like, okay. So I put it on spot. I know it's about wholesaling and everything like that. I'm really new to real estate, sub 2 and all that. I'm not really interested in wholesaling, but Pace, I've been watching your videos. I'm very new to you and all of this, probably within the last week. And I'm one of those people you talk about one of YouTube videos where you said, some of y'all are broke. I'm one of those people that I am broke. Okay.
I've been there too. Okay, Jerry's been there too. I can tell you, Jerry had to push his wedding back. His wife was 17, and I'm telling you straight up, this dude was broke at 1.2. He got married at like 21. His wife they had to push the marriage back a week so she could turn 18. How much money did you guys have when you got married, Jerry? Nothing.
Broke. Dead
broke. Jamil lost everything in 2008. He had to go to LA, sleep on a buddy's couch, be a stand-up comedian. He lost everything. He had to start from scratch. Brent Daniels lost everything in the crash, had a $700,000 judgment in his name. He had to dig himself out of, okay? He was beyond broke, okay? That's what we call broke, all right?
Yeah, broke is rich. That's rich.
He was he was praying to God every night going, dear God, please make it so I'm broke. Because then I'd be a level up.
So step number 1, get to broke.
Got to come out the mud, as we say where I'm from. Get up out the mud. Yeah.
That's right.
That's right. That's why these 3 boys are my heroes. So being broke has nothing to do with it. You want to change your life. You want to do something. Real estate's the thing for you, it sounds like. Yeah. Step number 1, don't become a licensed agent. That's a waste of your time. What do you want to do? Do you want to flip houses? Do you want to wholesale? Do you want to put them in your portfolio? What do you want to do?
Honestly, I mean, yes, I do want to own real estate, have it in my portfolio. I really just want to get started. I'm really been interested in sub 2. I really just want to own my first house. I really want to own a house.
Can I tell you something? Mm-hmm. This year, I will help 500 families own their own house. Okay. Where do you live? I'll tell you I got a house or not.
I live in Indianapolis, Indiana. I actually messaged you. I messaged you on Instagram, actually.
Okay, so here's what I'm doing. Okay, for people, just for you, for everybody to know. Lolita, at 7:00, so that's in 38 minutes. I'm doing my podcast. It's called Get Creative. I'm going to talk more about what I'm actively up to right now. Mm-hmm. I'm taking all the sub 2 deals that do not cash flow that are meant for homeowners, and I'll talk to you. Lolita, come on my podcast right after this, 38 minutes. Okay.
Okay.
And I'll talk to you. I'll break down what I'm doing.
Okay.
And I've already helped 4 families this week. And what I've done is I've taken families that are having a hard time selling the house. Did you hear Brent and Jamil just talk about how there's long days on market and places like Buckeye have 4 months on, it's long. Sellers and agents cannot sell their houses right now. Yeah. I'm going to them and saying, just give me your 2%, 3%, 4% rate. I will buy the house from you, pay the agent commission, give the seller a little bit of money. I will buy the house. Mm-hmm. And then what I'm doing is I'm turning around and helping families who can't get into their own home move into that house. And I basically become your bank.
Okay.
Okay. I don't care if you're broke. Okay. Mm-hmm. In fact, if you're disenfranchised, you've been put in bad situations, I want to help you out. I want to figure out what we can do. Indianapolis, Indiana, are you kidding me? I could take half that freaking city right now. So,
I love my city. Don't do us like that. But I will say this, like, if I could be honest, like, I am working. I have a job. Okay. I am working, but it's one of those, like, it's paycheck to paycheck. I want to get out of living paycheck to paycheck. I want to be in a good financial situation. And I know that real estate, is, where it is, it's just having the leverage or the capital, if you will, I want to get out of where I'm at. I have kids. I want to be able to leave an inheritance for them, Let me
spend an hour with you tonight. Okay. Let me spend an hour with you tonight without Jerry, without Brent and Jamil, because I'll go off. Okay. These guys get sick of hearing me. Come on my podcast in 36 minutes and I will break down how I can help a single mom with kids. You have a job. I understand you have a job. I'm not saying you're destitute and you're lazy. That's not what I'm saying.
Right. No, I didn't take it as that,
For the first time in history, okay, the last couple of years, the first time in history, having a job, 90% of people have a job, cannot buy a house.
Right.
Okay, back in 1963, the price of an average home was $18,000. The price of an average home today is $431,000 nationwide average. When you take inflation into consideration, okay, and you say inflation didn't happen, you have to pay 4 times as much money today for a house out of your wages than they did in 1963. 4 times. That means you have to make 4 times as much money, work 4 times as often, grind your guts out 4 times as frequently in order to afford the same house that your grandpappy bought in 1963 with like a booger and an El Camino traded. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
So I have ways to help you out with that. I'll break it down on the next podcast. Okay. The main thing you want to do is go, I want to get out of renting. perfect. If that's your first step in real estate, your homeboy Pace can help you. Even in Indianapolis, we could take over the whole entire town if we wanted to. I'm telling you. Places would be hard to take over is like Malibu. That'd be hard, right? People aren't really selling there, and they're not willing to give me a term in Malibu. I did get a deal on in Napa Valley on seller finance, no money down, but like that's an outlier. Most of the time, I'm looking in just kind of general areas. So, Lolita, come on my YouTube channel. I have a podcast that starts in 34 minutes, and we'll chat about it. Okay.
Okay.
All right, cool. Lolita, I'll pull you up there.
Lolita,
Sydney,
don't sleep on wholesaling.
I agree.
Right,
I agree.
Jamil?
I agree.
Right, Jerry? Don't sleep on wholesaling. That's a nice way to replace your income.
Sydney, you're up. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Okay, we have 4 more minutes. What do you got for us? Your kids are in the back. You gotta make this real estate thing work for them.
Yes. I have my first contract for a property in Sandusky, Ohio, and I was watching Jamil and his sister the other day about pad splits. I was curious if instead of wholesaling, I could do it a pad split with it.
Yes, you can. What do you need? You need funding, right? So you could go to like myinvestorloan.com. You could get a loan for the property. You could go to a Gator and get your gap funding. You could be in the deal, no money out of pocket. And then you could essentially refinance once you get it stabilized and get a new loan.
Okay. Cool.
If you come on my podcast in 33 minutes, I will whiteboard the exact steps of exactly what to do.
Oh yeah.
Pace, do you have a good lender referral for a pad split?
Myinvestorloan.com is doing all my pad splits.
Are they? No, I mean the refi.
My investor loan will do the purchase and the refi.
Okay, I've got another resource for you, just in tandem. So you can shop the rate, but I'm going to send you that in a text message right now.
Okay.
So that you can share it with other people. Because I just did one with them, and they did 75% LTV, and they appraised it based on the income.
That's so good, bro.
From co-living. So it
was it with Jerry's money? Because I know Jerry's got so much cash right now.
No, it wasn't. I wish it was with Jerry's money.
He's got so much cash, bro. Jerry, how much cash do you really have when you're just pouring out 30 tons of freaking concrete every week?
It's all in cement. I've converted. Instead of buying Bitcoin, I buy cement.
Freaking genius, dude. Guys, as we wrap up the show today, I love the live Q&A. I know it sounds like I talk the most because I'm teeing up everybody to ask questions, but I love hearing my best friend's answers to every question. Jerry, what do you have coming up this week? What can we send people to promote all that kind of stuff?
Oh, good question. Let's see. Tomorrow night doing the live with my wife, Anne-Marie. We do that every Tuesday night. In fact, Pace, we need to get you on there. Tell me when you're available.
Can we do it? Can we do it on your patio the week of the June 26th when we get in town?
Yeah, let's do it then.
Okay. It's almost like we live 2 miles away from each other. I'm so lucky. So guys, go to Jerry Norton's YouTube channel. It's one of the very few. I subscribe to all 3 of these boys' YouTube channels, and I subscribe to maybe 3 other. Okay. Jerry Norton's channel with his wife is phenomenal. When she speaks, I listen. She's unbelievable. She brings an amazing other side of the coin to the conversation about the support mechanism in a wholesaler's life. And their lives on Tuesday are transformative. Yeah, they do great marriage retreats. They do all sorts of cool things for those of you guys out there. Like, I want to get closer to my partner. Follow Jerry Norton's information. He is the flipping genius that I have learned so much from. Jamil, what do you have coming up this week, my brother?
I got Straight Outta Compton on Wednesday and Sunday as well. And my mindset call on my YouTube channel at 1 p.m. PST. If you are struggling with anything mindset related, if you're having a hard time, figuring out how to break patterns, if you're really trying to stop self-sabotage, I'd really love to see you there on Sunday.
Love it. And Jamil, my wife and I were in Montana a couple of weeks ago, listening to your mindset training on YouTube. It's phenomenal, and we love watching it. It's a new like must watch for us on Sunday. You're doing it on Sundays, it seems like.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So Jerry, you've got yours with your wife. Jamil, you've got yours going on Get Straight Outta Compton. By the way, if anybody says, dude, I need to learn one skill and just get really good at real estate, learn how to comp a property, guys.
Yes.
Learn how to freaking comp a property. Go to Straight Outta Comping. I never had to learn how to comp. And the reason being is I just text Jamil and he does it for me. So if you want to learn who comps all my deals, just go to Jamil. All right. Brent, the most unbelievable human being. I had a big meeting with my team today, and my team was so happy. And the main topic was Pace actually pays himself. And I was like, well, you have Brent Daniels to thank for that 5 years ago. Brent Daniels changed my life. 7 years ago, Brent Daniels changed my life. Unbelievable human being and my friend. Brent, what do you have coming up this week, brother?
Closing massive deals, bros. All right. Like, it's nice. Listen, we go live and we do our thing on you. Join me Wednesday, Brent Daniels Real Estate Live Show. That's fantastic. But you know what we're doing the rest of the week? We're closing deals, guys. Closing deals left and right. 1 a day, 2 a day, 3 a day. It doesn't matter. We're going bananas in 2024. This is our year. Everybody's running away, and we're running towards these big, massive fucking deals. That's what we're doing, boys. That's what we're doing.
I love it.
Guys, Wholesale Hotline, we've been going for 4 solid years. It's been a blast with you guys. We're going to continue to amplify the content and the value. And please do us a favor. DM us all on Instagram. We all answer our Instagrams, and DM us. One thing that you took away today, a question that wasn't able to get answered. We might even tee you up and send you a video that answers the question, or I might even send you a voice memo. Whatever it is that you need, guys, we will be here every Monday night, 5 o'clock Arizona time. We're the only state that's not a bunch of lunatics that change their freaking time every year. We just keep it at how it is. Okay, guys, we will see you next week on Wholesale Hotline.
Peace.
Love you guys.
Or just say squat up.
So squat up and enjoy the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
1, 2, 3.
So squat up and enjoy the show.
What are you doing?
I didn't say that thing.
Why?
I don't know.
Okay.